what's the fastest way to get divorced? Hi, I'm Bill Farias, founder of Farias Family Law, and this is a question that comes up often. Specifically, I had a client a couple of years ago who wanted to get divorced very quickly, and it was because she wanted to remarry. Now, that was a little bit surprising to me. She was just closing out a divorce and wanted to jump into another marriage immediately. I advised her to take a little bit of time. Emotions were running high. You want to make sure this is right for you and that you're not making rash decisions. But this question also comes up very often for other reasons, right? Obviously, people want to get through a divorce quickly. It's not fun to be involved in a divorce. You want to move on to this next chapter of life. And so that got me thinking about recording a video about what the best way is to go about that. So generally, the fastest way to get divorced is through an uncontested divorce filing. However, the only way that you can get that done is if you and your spouse are in agreement on all of the major issues. So that includes property division, alimony if there are children, custody, parenting time, support, health insurance, life insurance, and some other issues. But you have to make sure that you're in agreement on everything. If you are not in agreement on everything and you pursue an uncontested divorce, then what'll happen, or what could happen, is that it'll just drag on because there is no mechanism for bringing the other side to the table. There may not be a mechanism for resolving any disputes. So an uncontested divorce filing is the fastest way to get divorced, but only if you're in agreement on everything. So how should you go about this? First of all, what I would suggest is, depending on what's at stake, you may want to get some advice from a reliable attorney. The longer the marriage, the more you have at stake in terms of assets, equity in a home, cash, retirement accounts, and also liabilities. The more that's on the line, the more sense it makes to consult with an attorney. The other reason to consult with an attorney is if there are children involved, right? If you have parenting time, custody on the line, child support, any of those issues are typically important issues, and you may want to get some advice on how to go about structuring a parenting plan, what a fair amount of support is. So the bottom line is, the longer the marriage and the more that's on the line, the more sense it makes to discuss your case and circumstances with a reliable attorney before leaping into conversations with your spouse. Once you have an idea of what a fair outcome would be, then what I would suggest is just having a general conversation with your spouse. You want to be careful about committing to anything that's significant, and that's because if during that conversation you say, okay, you can have this, you can have that, and then you later regret that and you change your mind, then it'll be very difficult to reverse that, to then go back to your spouse and say, hey, I know I said that, but I really didn't mean it and I don't think it's fair. Then you're going to put yourself in a very difficult position. So depending on what's on the line, you want to get some advice from a reliable attorney, then have a general conversation with your spouse to try to figure out what they're looking for. And if based on that conversation, you feel like this is a case that may end up uncontested, or that you can work toward an uncontested filing, then you can meet with an attorney and talk about the details and work on getting ready to draft those documents and get the divorce done. So it typically can take anywhere from getting everything started to filing anywhere from a couple of weeks to a month and a half, depending on the information that needs to be gathered, how quickly all the parties can sign the documents. And then the court will typically schedule a divorce hearing within a couple of months, sometimes as quickly as a month out, and you can finalize your divorce at that final hearing. So the fastest way to get divorced is through an uncontested hearing. However, you want to make sure that you're a candidate for an uncontested hearing, that the other side is going to be receptive and reasonable, and that type of filing makes sense for you. You want to make sure that you don't commit to anything significant without getting some advice beforehand. Have a general conversation with your spouse about what they're looking for. Be careful about committing to anything significant, and start working your way toward an uncontested divorce. If you have any other questions, you can call us at 508-675-0464. You can email us at info@fariasfamilylaw.com. If you found this video helpful, you can subscribe to our channel and share it with anyone you think might benefit from it. And you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram at Farias Family Law. Thank you. Have a good day.